welcome to Anthony's Brick Builds, and today is the day. Today we'll be going over the LEGO Marvel Avengers Tower. This is going to be a really fun video. This is LEGO Marvel set 76269 with 5,201 pieces and 18 plus sets that retails for a whopping 500 USD. This set does come with a slew of minifigures, the most ever in a LEGO set of all time, totally outstripping the previous holder of this record being the 2016-2008 Death Star. So this is going to be a really fun video. Before we go on further on into it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the notifications button on if you have not already. But let's open up the box and see what's inside. Alright, so here we go. Of course, we're using the special knife for this. So you have 3 tape seals that you have to cut. They are all pretty easy to cut, of course. Alright, so I got it open. Now we're going to be taking a look at what's inside. We have a really cool Avengers kind of logo right here. And if I can flip the box around, you can kind of get a better view of this. It looks really cool. And now when we open it up, we are greeted with a large white box. So I'm going to take that out and start spreading things out. So let's start doing that. Come on, Mr. Box. Let's go. Going to take a little bit, of course. These boxes are always some very big ones to get out, because this is what helps support the rest of the box, so it doesn't just come crumbling in on itself. Alright, so we got that out, and now we can dump the rest of the build out. Holy moly, that's a lot of bags. Alright, I'll check with you guys when I'm done putting these bags together. Alright, so after just about 10 minutes of putting all the bags together, this is what I have. We have 39 bags. That is pretty crazy, across 3 different instruction manuals, and if you open it, it's pretty straightforward. It's a LEGO instruction manual. Actually pretty cool. I haven't seen inside these yet. And let's see if there's actually a write-up in the beginning. Yes, there is a write-up in the beginning, just like with LEGO Star Wars set. So you can pause the video if you would like to read it in your appropriate language. Or if we keep just flipping through the pages, this is really tall. I believe this is 36 inches tall, including a whole bunch of different scenes that probably some of my favorites right there from just a bunch of the Marvel movies like Infinity War, as well as the Avengers movie and Age of Ultron. I love the little Quinjet. And then we have a lot more. I really love this kind of poster. I would buy a poster like that, no questions asked. Really cool. And then we have Builders Assemble. Really fun. Then you start it off. You see the first 2 numbered bags is for, of course, we have Thor, looks like a Chitauri soldier, as well as a giant flying worm thing. And then we have bags 3 through 11, looks like the first floor, and then you start your build process. So that is going to be pretty fun. We have a 32 by 32 base plate in here, 2 unnumbered bags, including a whole bunch of large, by 16 plates. And we also have 2 very large and very big instruction manuals, or at least sticker sheets. Sorry, it's been a long day. And then we have the kind of like little fabric pieces right here. That is like a weird kind of like fabric, also plasticky color for Vision and the Wasp. So that is going to be really cool. So builders, let's assemble this bad boy. I'll check in with you guys when I'm done building, and we'll check out all the minifigs. Alright, to start out all 31 minifigures right here, we have the Hulk. So that is really cool. My first ever Hulk minifigure. And he comes with a pretty cool looking hairpiece. Then we have our 2 Iron Mans right here. We have, of course, the Mark 42, I believe this one is. That's battle damage. That looks really cool. Then we have another Iron Man right here looking really cool. Then we have Tony Stark. We have Captain America from the first Avengers movie. Then we have Captain America from Endgame, Black Widow. Then we have Thor. Then we also have Hawkeye. Hawkeye looks pretty cool. I like the printing detail on his legs. Vision is probably one of my favorite characters in the set, coming with some awesome transparent legs and a really cool kind of like plasticky cape. Then you have Wanda. Then you also have Pepper Potts. These 2 figures look really good. Then we have Dr. Cho. Very cool figure. I think our first iteration of this character. Then we have War Machine. It's our War Machine we've had for a couple times now. A really good figure. Then we also have Wong right here. I really do like the little kind of like shields that he has right there. Dr. Eric Selvig, really good, very simple figure, but very good. A awesome Ultron minifigure, extremely well detailed, I love it. Then we have the Wasp and Ant-Man right here, really cool figures. Wasp also has some really cool like wing details that's kind of similar like Vision's cape. Then you have, of course, Nick Fury, a really nice Nick Fury figure, looking really good. Then we also have, I believe it's like a newer Falcon minifigure, really cool. I like the printing detail on his torso and legs, and of course you got his wings. Then you also have Alexander Pierce, who is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then you have Tony Stark in his S.H.I.E.L.D. disguise. Then you also have 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, 4 Chitauri soldiers, 2 with huge guns. Then you have Loki, and last but not least, you have Kevin Feige. So I think that's a really cool figure with a really cool kind of like Avengers hat right there. And then we have, of course, the Leviathan right here. So a really awesome figure, or kind of like a model of this animal. And of course, you can position it in tons of different ways and make it really cool. But all in all, a really nice figure. I like the gold elements they used all around it. And also like all the rib pieces. If you look underneath, you can see all the rib pieces. So a lot of really cool parts usage in this Leviathan, and a really cool set of 31 minifigures. Before we start off on the Avengers Tower, I just want to go over the little Quinjet that's included in this set. It is very small and rudimentary, but it is actually pretty cute and pretty good looking Quinjet all in all. You got a cockpit right there where you can fit a single minifigure and just practically laying down. It could be even sleeping in there for all we know. There is 2 stud launchers, 1 on each side. You got the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, 1 on each side as well. And then they are basically symmetrical, all besides for the green and red dots on both sides. All in all, they look actually really cool. And then you have like the interior, of course, where you have just all like the little fans moving and all the things just to make the Quinjet stay up in the air. Then you flip it over and it's pretty rudimentary as well. Has some nice little landing gear, and it can fit on the helipad on the Avengers Tower. But speaking of the Avengers Tower, let's jump right on into it. Alright, so here is the Avengers Tower right here. A ginormous set going at about 3 feet. That is just really crazy how tall this thing is. We'll be going up into all of the awesome details, but first, let's start all the way at the bottom ground floor area, where we have, of course, a really nice little sidewalk right here. And we do have a whole bunch of little jumper plates to put all your minifigures or some park benches. There's a Battle of New York memorial brick, a lamp post, some more kind of like pose elements. You have the front doors that lead into the Avengers Tower, a fire hydrant, a trash can, and another bench. I'll be doing the exterior of this build first and then moving on into the interior. Now, as you can notice up front, there's a bunch of these kind of like little dark bluish gray windows. There is a lot of them in this set, a lot of them. There's so many of them. It was pretty tedious to put them all in, but I think it turned out really good in the end. We got Hulk right here. He can attach himself to the Avengers Tower and carry a Chitauri soldier in his other hand. Speaking of Chitauri, we have a Chitauri speeder right here with Loki and another speeder above it. We do have, of course, Black Widow jumping down on top of it to take control of it. So I think that's a pretty cool little Easter egg right there. We got a little spot where we put War Machine. It's all these like little kind of like being where it's at. It could be light bluish gray, or it could be this mid-azure color right here, just so it kind of blends in with the build and is how all the minifigs are posed right there. We do have the huge Avengers A right here. I really like how this turned out. Then we have kind of like the helipad. We'll get that in just a second. Then we have the kind of portal. We have Wong on the top. We have Ultron. Then we have Falcon. This really cool kind of slope part, but we'll get to that more in just a second. Then we're all the way at the top. We have Eric Selvig at the very top. There's no guardrails, so if he does fall, it's a long way down. So if I move the Avengers Tower, we'll get a little wobbly on my stand, but we can put it like here, and we can take a look at the back side, or kind of like the left side of the tower, where it is pretty much like copy and paste throughout the whole build. But it does kind of like stop right here, or kind of come in on itself. I think that's a cool like little spot right there. Then you can really see right into it all right here, all the transparent elements, and you can get a good feel for what the inside looks like when we'll get to be able to take it all off. And this whole thing kind of comes apart so everyone can see on the inside. But one thing you really can't see is that there's a old Avengers comic book on the inside right there. You can only really see it while you are building this thing, so I think that is a really fun Easter egg. But the other side right here, we have a little ladder so Eric Selvig can get up to his top of the tower. Of course, we have the A over here. It's probably like the same side, or it's like the same as the other side. We have a little bird over here making a little nest. And then we have all the way down here where we have a like exit only of the Avengers sign and new exhibit for Captain America, a little box, and probably one of my second favorite Easter eggs in here. You see we have the Captain Marvel kind of pager right here. So that is how Nick Fury pages Captain Marvel. And then we have a dumpster right here as well, where if you open it up, and if I can, there's actually some pin particles on the inside. So this set is full of Easter eggs. I'll do a video in the future of every single Easter egg in this set. It will take a while, but it will be a really fun video. Now we have the front side. The front side is actually a pretty good side, or kind of like the right side now. We have this really cool kind of like little details right here of how it looks, and then you also have like the top kind of like skylight. We'll get to that in just a bit more better detail in a second. Ultron, of course, we got Falcon. Then we have the like kind of interior part where you can kind of see the inside. We'll get that better in just a second. Where we have Wanda, and we also have Vision, a Chitauri soldier, then Hawkeye making his really cool kind of like upside down trick shot. And then we have the main part, the Avengers Tower, like the front part right here, where we have Tony Stark taking a leap of faith right there, and his Iron Man suit coming down on top of him. I think that's a really fun little Easter egg right there. And then we have the Wasp right here. So now you take this off. So you put your hand around here like so. Is of course better with two hands, but one's holding a camera. You just take it off like so. You put it down like so, and then you can get onto the interior. So there's even more minifigs on the interior, where we have the bottom floor right here, where we have a little welcome desk, an elevator, a Vista Rush sponsored by Prime. Then we have, of course, a Tesseract, and we have a bunch of other little details right here. Dr. Cho and Pepper Potts. And then probably one of my favorite floors right here, we have Captain America with his counterpart right here, and that is America's tube side right there. That is actually an instruction manual. Stay tuned for my Easter egg video for that. Then we have kind of like glass walkway, some planets behind there where you can kind of see an operating table for Dr. Cho. Then we have like the Iron Man army. I think that's pretty cool. They were able to add an Iron Man armory in here, where we have kind of some more elevators. There's actually an elevator on every floor, so that is a kind of cool detail. There's a dummy robot in here as well. Then we have the Iron Man right here. And then if you kind of take a look over here, we have his kind of arc reactor and a small little Iron Man figure. Then on this floor is the kind of like jail floor right here, where we can open it up and we could put a figure like Loki on the inside right there. So we can close that up right there. Then we have who is Iron Man right there. And then we kind of have that green guy from, I believe that is Falcon, the Winter Soldier. Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Kind of that old kind of German guy that kind of screwed everything up. Then if you notice right here, there is a kind of like other Easter egg right there. I don't think if you can see it too well, but it has Hulk and says caution out of order because of the Hulk. So I think that is also funny. But now we moved up here. So this is going to be a little tricky to get my camera in, but we can take this off like so. Now this is really cool. This is how you can open it up. You can kind of bring it around. It is a lot better with two hands, trust me. And then you kind of bring it up. There we go. It is flat, but you can kind of like flex it into what you need. So I think that is another really cool design. And now the Avenger Tower can get taller if you bring this up. It can get just about another inch or 2-3 inches taller if you take that piece off. So now, if anyone remembers for Age of Ultron, we have kind of like the sitting room in there. So if I get my light, you can pretty much see the inside right there. You have the tables, Thor's hammer, a magazine, as well as a bunch of other stuff throughout the build. I grabbed my other light so we can see a little bit better. We have, of course, the inside where it has some TVs on both sides, a bar in the background, just kind of matching the mood of the beginning of the Age of Ultron. Then we have a kind of like a little smaller area. I'm not entirely sure what this area is supposed to be, but we have a ring, and then we have like another kind of little Easter egg detail probably, and then the Avengers Tower or Avengers kind of like comic book is sitting right there. Then we have a crack in the tiles, which has a shape of poor Loki, who got absolutely demolished by the Hulk when he tried to reason with him. That didn't go very well. The top floor right here is where you have the Scepter scanning room that's kind of taken off of the helicarrier and kind of plopped into here. So you kind of got some Jarvis stuff, you're scanning it, there's a big red button, there's a keyboard. So I really like with the Avengers Tower how they are able to include a whole bunch of different things from a whole bunch of different movies that just makes this build really cool. So it's not like a bunch of offices like there would be on the Avengers Tower. There's stories from like practically every really cool Avengers movie. So I think that is just really cool and a lot of fun designs. But let me show you how the helicarrier fits on, or actually the shield Quinjet actually fits on the top of the Avengers Tower. It gets pretty cozy, but the Quinjet actually does fit into the Avengers Tower. So this is as far as it can really go back. Oh, go back a little farther. So you can kind of want it around here, so you can kind of see most of the Quinjet and most of the Avengers Tower kind of helipad right there. So that is how it fits right there. But let me show you how tall this thing is compared to my other two modular buildings. Alright, so this is what the Avengers Tower looks like up against the Corner Garage and the Grand Emporium. Now, these are both our corner builds, so you kind of get a little bit of a kind of like corner build right here, the corner of a street. So this is what it looks like. There is not enough room, though, for Loki and his Chari speeder on this side. I'm not really sure where else I could put it, but you are able to kind of move some other things around. Like I had to move the Wasp from this corner over to here. I can move the Leviathan up a little higher over here, but you do have to still find room for the Quinjet, and we had the little Chari speeder right here. So you do have to still figure where that is out. Now, the Avengers Tower is over 2 times taller than both these builds put together, even with the sign that the Grand Emporium has. So I think that is really crazy. Being the tallest Lego modular building ever, it just keeps going up. It's really crazy, and I just think it looks really good if you take a step back and just get the full grandeur of it all. And it looks really, really nice against other Lego Marvel modular buildings. Stay tuned for many more videos on that to come, but this is going to be a really fun video. Stay tuned for later on where I will be putting this in Lego City in a future video. That will be really fun. Thank you guys for joining for this wonderful episode of Anthony's Brick Builds. We went over the awesome Lego Avengers Tower. This is probably one of my top 5 favorite Lego sets of all time now. Just having built it is just so much fun. I would highly recommend to even the casual Marvel fan if they wanted to build it. It did take me about 8 hours to build. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video, but it definitely was a grueling build, but it was rewarding in the end. So I definitely think this is worth the $500 price point, just being this about 5,200 pieces and having just so many minifigures and just having so much playability and posability, and all the stories and Easter eggs are inside. And speaking of that, that's a segue into our next part. Please stay tuned for a Easter egg video on the Avengers Tower, as well as a video where I'm putting this bad boy into my Lego City. I will see you guys in the next Lego Marvel video. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.